There's a big one. Good one.
Yeah.
Look at that giant bass.
Oh yeah, 19 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 pounds, 8 ounces, 22 pounds, 9 ounces.
Nobody's a lot. It just depends on what the fish are going to be.
I love it because you can catch them deep and you can catch them shallow.
There's a lot of 6 to 8 pounders in it too.
Lake Eufaula, great lake, just a bass factory.
Alabama's got the biggest fat girls on the planet. Yeah!
The Walmart FLW Tour features some of the best fisheries in America. And the fourth event of the 2015 season was at none other than Lake Eufaula. This river impoundment of the Chattahoochee River runs for 85 miles along the border between Georgia and Alabama. The tour was here right after the bass spawned and moved away from the banks, and that meant finding fish in slightly deeper water.
Let's see your 2 bass bass!
The lake has been known to produce some of the largest stringers in competitive bass fishing.
11 pounds, 10 ounces, Anthony.
But the current conditions of the lake was making it tough for the 150 professionals trying to break the 20-pound mark.
11 pounds, 7 ounces, Scott.
You know, I caught my fish deep all week. I had a shallow bait going and it just kind of fizzled for me.
There's some of us fishing shallow, some of us fishing deep. I'm one of the guys, I'm just going to stick to the bank and see what happens.
16 pounds and 8 ounces.
You know, it's setting up that you can do anything in this tournament. You can fish a frog, you can fish in 15 foot of water, you can fish in 6 foot of water. It's a pretty unique place to fish.
Most of the anglers ran south from Lake Point Resort State Park to play the numbers game. The strategy of making just a few casts at pieces of isolated cover out in the mid-depth water before pulling up the troll motor in search of the next one.
With me, when they drop the water, I go out deep and there's a lot of big fish on this lake to be caught.
Eufaula is my favorite lake. I absolutely love it because it's an offshore lake, but the fish aren't related to current like they do the Tennessee River. They kind of get on little stupid looking things that most people wouldn't fish, and that's what I love to do.
Thrift is most comfortable when he can fish fast, and finished second when the tour came to Eufaula back in 2013. On the Walmart FLW Tour, anglers earn points from every event that determine Angler of the Year. The top 35 anglers in points at the end of 6 events qualify for the richest payday in bass fishing, the Forest Wood Cup. The second half of the tour is a chance for anglers to make or break their season.
To get into the Forest Wood Cup, you've got to be in the top 35 in the AOI standings. But usually every season there's 3 to 5 people who double qualify through the Rayovac FLW series or some other opportunities that are out there to get into the Cup. And so it usually bumps down a few spots. And a few of FLW's biggest stars are on that bubble right now where if they don't catch them this week, they may not make it to the Cup.
We're into my time of the year, my favorite time to fish, and it's all gonna work out. No worries yet.
Brash and carefree is how JT Kinney has approached his entire fishing career. He has been hot and cold throughout his 10 seasons on tour, and it's no surprise that after winning the first event of 2015, he still manages to find himself on the bubble at the midway point of the season.
You know, it's really important for me to do well here. You got to get back up into that top 35 in the points, and if you have a stumble at this tournament with only 2 more to go, you don't really have a lot of room to start making up ground.
That might keep me alive to fish another day.
Mark Rose has been down before, and in fact he often treats every day on the water as a hill to climb. But the devout angler from Arkansas found the second half of the season presented him with a mountain to overcome. It started with a mistake he made on the second day of competition at Beaver Lake.
Anybody that's been keeping up with me knows that I had a hiccup over there, and that cost me about 90 to 100 places in that particular tournament.
It was an inadvertent rules violation. It wasn't anything major, but it was a rule, and because of the way it went down, it cost him his day 2 weight.
10 pounds, 1 ounce, buddy. You're at 19th place right now.
Sometimes you're on the mountaintop, sometimes you're in the middle, sometimes you're down in the valley. You just have to stay even keel through it all. You know, it's tough.
Larry Nixon didn't qualify for the Forest Wood Cup in 2014.
Been 14 cups and haven't won that sucker yet.
Larry started 2015 with questions about how much longer he would be able to give to the sport he helped create.
You can't take any chances anymore because these guys are too good with their electronics. I didn't used to have any competition out deep. I had that to myself. And now, you better catch what you can catch every tournament and make a check, because if you don't, you're not going to get any points there, and that's what's real critical about every event.
He is right there, almost within reach of qualifying, but he has to get it done this week. One slip up in the second half of the season on the FLW Tour could really cost him a lot of points.
Well, I did really good. Somehow or another, I got 6, so I'm going to lose 2 pounds. I got them, but I got 1 too many. Sorry. We neither one have any idea how it happened.
You release one
I call every time.
Every time.
Well, when you get in a hole, that's a problem. After 3 events and you're in a hole, then you got to really roll the dice and go for high finishes to get them points back.
Didn't absolutely blow it the first day, although it's close. For every professional fishing the FLW Tour, they want to be at the final championship, and the Forest Wood Cup is a goal of every one of these fishermen.
Last year I didn't make it. That was the first time in 7 or 8 years or whatever it was that I didn't make it. And that was horrifying.
When it comes down to championship time, if you want to go to Ouachita, you swing for the fence.
Oh, dang. So good. And mentally, you get so worried about, I've got to catch them in the last 2. I've got to catch them big. It messes with your mind. It really does.
It's not the end of my year. It's not going to define who I am if I'm not there, but I sure want to be there fishing for that $500,000.
I'm real close. It's just important that I have a good tournament here and do good at Chickamauga and make a check at Potomac, and if I can do that, I'll make the cut.
Man, you had 16-4 yesterday, Larry, and you've got a 5 bass limit today.
No, I had 18-4 yesterday. I got a 2-pound penalty.
10 pounds, 11 ounces, Larry. You're into 9th place right now, buddy.
Troy Morrow was also looking to make or break his season. The Georgia Pro came into this event at 75th place in the standings. An angler who loves to throw crankbaits at brush piles, Troy turned it on the first half of the tournament, topping 18 pounds both days and taking the top spot going into the weekend cut.
What we all strive for is the points to make the cup at the end. I mean, I pay for my season throughout as we go. I break even, and if I don't make the cup, I don't make money for the year. So the cup is crucial.
21 pounds, 8 ounces, man. You smoked them today.
With one goal accomplished, Troy had to focus on the next step, holding on to his lead when he had some serious sticks waiting for him to stumble. Day 3 would be a test to see if Troy had enough waypoints to match the numbers game that Brian Thrift was playing. Nothing comes easy in professional bass fishing, and on the Walmart FLW Tour, if you don't figure out where to catch a 5 bass limit, you can be sure someone else will. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by You can get more from your oil with Quaker State. Find, navigate, dominate with Lowrance. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for top anglers. And by Walmart, save money, live better. A bright morning in southern Alabama, and for 20 pros, this is moving day. Only the top 10 anglers move on to the final round, and that puts a lot of pressure on the guys below the cut line. Troy Morrow is the leader of the pack, and this tournament is helping him turn around a season that was slipping away.
I had a great start this year. 8th place down at Toho, and I thought it was going to be just a stellar season. And the 2 lakes that I should have done the best at, I did 2 of my worst finishes ever, and it was Smith and Beaver. And so after the 3rd tournament, I was mired 70-something, I think. So I have to have 3 good finishes to finish out this year to make the cup.
You can't finish any better than first. And Troy is hoping to solidify his lead today and get one step closer to a payday worth $125,000.
Let's go see if we can hang on to this lead. gonna hear a lot of that today. Hitting a lot of these brush piles just really quick. Trying to take advantage of the morning bite right now. If this doesn't work out, I'll probably slow down, fish them a little thorough. If I can catch one big one this morning, I feel pretty good. And take care of the limit in between and then catch some more good ones right before we have to go in. Not a big one, but he might keep maybe. Oh, I just lost, what, 6 ounces? Spent up a giant shad. Spotted bass, so we know it'll keep. #1 on the board. I made several top 10s. So far, this is my best chance to win one. Earlier in the week, I've been catching them on a crankbait, and that's what my big bites have been coming on. Yesterday, I couldn't hardly get a big bite. I had one big bite on a crankbait, and I ended up switching to this big worm, and it was lights out. So maybe that's how today's gonna go also. I knew the timing on this, and I knew what the weather was doing, and a month ago, I pretty much dedicated all into the brush pile thing, because when I was here a month ago, they were all bedding. I mean, everywhere. And so I knew those fish should be done, and the first place they go is the brush piles. So I figured by the time we got here, I'd have fish coming to me. Well, now I think I have fish going away because of the heat and the pressure. Giant. That helps. Lake Eufaula used to have hydrilla, and quite a bit of it. Got a stretch there that hasn't been fished. I've seen some grass carp, so I think that's what's got the hydrilla. And since it got gone, it's been a really tough lake. The brush pile thing has taken over for the intermediate from when they go from post spawn headed to the ledges. Well, once the word got out about the brush piles, everybody started beating on little fish on a big worm. So now they've pushed these fish to the edges of the brush pile. Some of these fish are just out there roaming around now. It's like a needle in a haystack. Woo! There's 5. I think I'll still be in the top, maybe not the lead, but I think I'm still within striking distance. I didn't throw my little baits a whole lot today. The little stuff. And so, yeah, I just was trying to get the bite, you know?
15 pounds and 6 ounces.
I'll sit there in front of the GPS tonight.
16 pounds and 8 ounces.
Find out how many I haven't fished and which way I need to go.
21 pounds and 1 ounce. The new leader is Wesley Strader.
I think it's going to be a dog fight tomorrow.
New leader, 19 pounds and 14 ounces. Woo! Another good stringer. Tomorrow, having some fun. 5 bass limit today. 15 pounds and 4 ounces. You'll take a 4-ounce lead into the final day.
4 ounces, we're dealing with it.
Think Brian Thrift think he's going to give up?
I wish, but probably not going to happen.
The final 10 are set for one last day of competition. While most are fishing the brush piles in 12 to 18 feet of water, John Cox and Jeff Gustafson are hitting the banks, searching for big largemouth bass.
Man, I've got the 2 best brush pile fishermen in the world, the 2 best there is in front of me today, and you know, it's going to take at least probably a good 20-pound bag to win this thing. They're not going to let up. They're going to catch them today.
I definitely think there's areas of the lake that turn on at different times of the day, and I'm going to run the whole lake, and hopefully we'll run into one of those little areas that happen to fire up, and I can catch me 5 good ones pretty quick.
Going over some of the brush piles in my head and what I may have hit and may not have hit, and I feel pretty good. I mean, where I put myself after Smith and Beaver, I needed the points even more to try to make the cup, and this will definitely be a good climb back into that.
Let's go catch some fish, boys.
Who is going to make the right adjustment on a hot day in Alabama? Clint Davis has caught a big fish first thing each morning. Can he grab the momentum and the lead?
Missed one fish in here late on the way in yesterday. Said I'm gonna start there.
Clear skies and over 60 miles of lake to run has got the top 10 anglers on the Walmart FLW Tour scattered all over Lake Eufaula. The final day of competition is underway.
There was a lot of big fish in this grass, and I'm just gonna try to feel around and see if they haven't just kicked off a little.
I think the sunny day is better for me because the fish getting tight around the brush. When it gets crowded, sometimes fish split out.
Right there they are. Just can't get them to bite. You can see them on the grass. That's what's crazy about it. I can see them down there. It's making me mad because you can see them, they won't bite. If my last name was Rose or Haynes, I could figure out how to get them to bite.
I've got a lot of places marked in here. I didn't check much of them because I focused down lake. I had 10 minutes coming in yesterday and stopped made cast and missed one. And so went with a gut feeling, decided to start here this morning. Good way to get started.
Caught two of my biggest fish right here the first day of the tournament. I don't understand why this spot's got so many daggone big ones on it. Weird, there's no drain or nothing here. I ain't even seen Troy or Thrift down here. If they left it all to me today, it should be really good. We don't have much current here this week, and I've just been throwing a swim bait over the tops of brush piles and certain little ledges. These fish are suspended, and I'm just throwing a swim bait out and kind of counting it down to a certain depth and reeling it in, and you get a fish here and there. It's actually really tough fishing trying to catch a suspended bass. Just had a couple of them slap at me. That's what they've started doing, is slapping at this bait instead of committing to it. Good one. Get down. Not my day, homies, not my day. That was my fault, but not my day. Not my morning, not my day. Can't dump 5-pounders right off the bat. I panicked and tried to flip it like a big dummy. All I had to do is sit there and lip it. I panicked. It's a $100,000 fish I just lost. And there's nothing else to say. There's a $100,000 fish there.
0 for 3 stops so far, and we're going to my best spot here now from the last few days. So still early, lots of time. We're gonna find them. I haven't had a good season so far, so I to make the Forest Wood Cup, I gotta have 3 good tournaments to finish the season, and I'm on the right track here. I'm not totally out of it. I'm behind the 8 ball, but if I can string together a couple more good ones, maybe I can squeak in. Up where I live in Northwest Ontario, we have some of the best smallmouth fishing in the world, and probably the best topwater fishing in the world. So it's kind of ironic, that's how I've been catching them down here, and I'm fishing just like I would at home, in the middle of the summer for smallmouths there. So I'm fishing a lot of water that is kind of foreign to me. I live up in the Canadian Shield, so we have a lot of rocks in our lakes and a lot of smallmouths, some largemouths, but no reservoirs. So it's been a learning process, but you pick up a little bit at every tournament, and I've made a lot of good friends, and I'm having the time of my life. There's a big one. That's what we want. Oh yeah, it's a giant, dude. It is a monster. I know he's got the bait good, so. Yeah! Woo! Baby! Look at that giant bass. Took me a while to get my first one today, but look at that. He ate that thing, man. Woo!
I'm just running a bunch of brush piles. I mean, this lake doesn't seem like they set up on current type places. They set up on more just random things, and I found about 150 random things, and I'm gonna try to fish them all today. I'm game for anything. If I ride by something and it looks good, I'm gonna point that Ranger boat right at it, and I'm gonna go over there and fish it. I give it 10 minutes. I don't stay anywhere long. That's the beauty of fishing fast. You cover water. You might make 100 bad decisions in an 8-hour tournament day, but you only got to make 5 good decisions. Eat it. This has been a great year. I mean, I've had good finishes in every tournament. I've only made, well, this is my second top 10 back-to-back, so I'm gonna call it a good year. Ooh, spot. The way I judge a good season is making money. I gotta get paid. If I get paid, that's a good season. I ain't gonna make no money catching them dudes.
To move ahead of Troy Morrow, Brian Thrift is going to have to get around a better quality bite this final morning on the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Eufaula. Will he try fishing all 150 brush piles he's marked to make that happen? Or will he change his game plan and try new water? It's a decision worth $125,000.
That is a big one right there. Dang, he's just mean, man.
Sweet. There we go. Maybe this will be the beginning of catching them.
Woo! 2 1/4. Not what we're fishing for, but I'll take it.
Whenever Brian Thrift gets on the water, he likes to fish fast and search for 5 good bites.
He's gonna be close, I believe. Oh yeah, we got 30.
Right now, the fish he's boxing up aren't getting him past leader Troy Morrow, but he's staying within striking distance. Clint Davis lost a 5-pounder earlier that would have cut his deficit in half. But the true wild cards are the anglers fishing shallow. Jeff Gustafson and John Cox haven't ventured out past 6 feet of water this whole week.
I think they're fixing to turn on with this cloud cover coming. Gets them a little more active. We're just gonna start running lily pads now and just hope we can run into a couple big ones. Like, I feel like I'm gonna win one soon, and like it's just, you know, it's just like a build up, like you're just gonna be so close, so close, so close. I haven't really, any of these tournaments, nothing's really gone perfect yet. I'm just gonna, you know, stick with it and just keep at it and, you know, maybe win one of these. Maybe it'll be the cup, you know. I mean, that'd be the one to win, you know, you're gonna win one of them. Come on, get it. Got her. Oh. It ain't even close to as big as we thought it was. There we go, number 2. See if we can get something going.
Oh, he come off. There he was. God, he missed it. That was a fish. Daggone it. I'm rotating back and forth between 16-pound gamma fluorocarbon and 12-pound gamma fluorocarbon with a 3/8 ounce sinker and a 4-ounce range tungsten sinker with a trocar hook and just Texas rigging it in the brush pile. Sometimes they'll bite in the brush, sometimes they're out away from the brush. You just got to work every angle of the brush pile. You can't just make one cast of the brush pile over and over. You got to work the edges, the middle. You got to work the whole brush pile. There he is. Got it. That feels like a good one, dude. It is a good one. Everybody's asking me that question about what an amazing season I'm having. You know, I really haven't had no bad seasons, to be honest with you. I usually finish in the 20s, mid-20s. Don't you do it, baby. He's down in the grass. Last year, I think every finish I had was in the 20s, except for one. I had a little hiccup, you know, at Rayburn. But I keep telling everybody that if I could ever get past those 20s and get, you know, above the 20s, that you know, things would really come together. And luckily this year, that's what's happening. First things went bad all week. With a 5-pounder.
Ran a bunch of brush piles and they ain't seemed to want to cooperate on them. I had very few bites and decided I'd go run shallow for a little bit. I already had 2 bites, so I might do this for an hour or so, see how it goes. Summertime like this, I like to throw topwater. If I'm gonna fish shallow in the summer, 90% of the time I'm gonna be throwing a topwater bait just because I feel like it targets bigger fish. Score. Might throw a frog the rest of the day.
Thrift's gut feeling about leaving his deeper water seems to be paying off. And while this move shallow hasn't produced a bigger fish, he's now just ounces behind the leader. The big story of this tour event on Lake Eufaula, has been the missed opportunities for Clint Davis and Wesley Strader, who have both lost a 5-pound fish at the boat.
Caught one. Yes.
Not giants, but solid keepers though.
Hey, I can't, man, that eats me up. That's the one that haunts you the whole day. Man, you lose one like that on the final day, it's, whew. Gotta hold my head down and take the day for what it is. I got one of the bites, I lost it. I lost 2 of them yesterday.
Clint Davis needs to stay focused because he's still in the top 5 on this final day of FLW Tour competition on Lake Eufaula. Meanwhile, Troy Morrow has slipped behind Brian Thrift.
God! I'm not gonna change anything. I'm just gonna go stay calm and fish. That one had it. Had it. I got myself into this mess. I'm gonna have to get myself out. Fish grabbed it when I threw it in there. It was already moved when I went to pick up. Coming in. Now we're taking aim on that little spot now. Bye-bye spot.
Don't see those in Canada. Man, the day goes by fast when you're not catching them.
Jeff Gustafson is known as Gussie on the tournament trail, and the Canadian angler started out hot this morning. But he still only has 3 fish in his live well, and his topwater pattern hasn't produced many bites in the afternoons.
All right, kick her into high gear here. Yeah. Oh man, that's another big one. Oh, it's a giant. Oh! Oh man, that was a big one. That was a 5 or 6 pounder.
I'm fishing mainly deep water. I mean all day. My target range is about 8 to 10 foot water, but when I get slower, yeah, I fish 15 foot water. Hello. I hated the brush pile all the time because it kind of like a reaction bite. So when I hit the brush pile, then stop it, then sometimes jerk it, then they bite when they hit there. When I get good timing, I can catch bam, bam, bam. But if I miss the timing, I couldn't catch anything. So yeah, I'm trying to make a good timing.
That's a good one, I see. Oh yeah.
Don't lose, don't lose.
Get it.
Not a giant, but I take it. Nice one.
Shin Fukai's keeper proves that the deep bite is turning back on. Brian Thrift has moved back out to check his brush piles, once again taking the fastest approach possible on this final day.
You get to wondering if you're doing the right thing when you go 6 hours without catching anything hardly. That's the way doing this is. I mean, you just got to get in the right little area and keep the faith that you know you're doing the right thing and hope it works out. I mean, I could hit the next 3 brush piles, catch 3 5-pounders, it's game over. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah. Come on, get in this boat, you big old bass. Got him. Thank you, Lord. We about to get in the zone. It's gonna get nasty.
I mean, I can't ask for better conditions. This is exactly what I wanted today. This is how I blasted them the first day. Calm and sunny. I think it's gonna happen today. I know I started out really bad, but I think sometime in the next few hours, the light bulb's gonna go off. There's a whole school of fish right there. And they're just running out playing with it, and one finally commits to it. There's another one right there. Another one right there. That one got it. Those are the kind we need. Not a giant, but that's a start. We're finally getting started.
This is my prediction. That fish I lost earlier will end up costing me winning this tournament. That fish would have gave me at least five more pounds, at least.
Wesley Strader has been having a dream season, making 3 top 10 cuts in the last 4 events. He's leading the Angler of the Year points race, but he still worries, knowing any mistake could end up being the mistake. So he works hard to stay focused and put that big miss behind him.
As of right now, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to win, but I'm just trying to give everyone this. There he is. Yeah, it's a good one. Stay down. I mean, I just need them to get up there and feed. And it may be on now, boys.
Strader doesn't lose this one, and with just over an hour to go, the race is still tight. Brian Thrift isn't catching big fish, but his numbers game has resulted in a slight 2-pound lead over Morrow so far. Can he hold off the men behind him for just a little while longer? Stay tuned. It's the Walmart FLW Tour on Lake Eufaula. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Always Smooth, Keystone Light Beer, the only beer of FLW, Rayovac, power for the always on you, Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. BRP Evinrude, experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. And by Igloo, get out, stay out.
No, that's just a little large, man. Thrift may catch 25, but I thoroughly believe if I catch 2 more big ones, I'll win.
Almost every one of them's getting it right there. That's probably why I lost that one.
Come on, I have never needed a fish so bad in my life as right now. Please.
Oh, he did have it, barely. If I can't win it, I want to stay in the top 5. You got to get close to 15.
Troy Morrow thinks he's letting it slip away, but the weights are closer than he thinks. Morrow is just 2 ounces behind Brian Thrift, and the next 3 anglers are just one good Lake Eufaula bass away from staking their claim at the victory.
We got an hour left. We just put the 5th fish in the boat. It's like perfect condition. We got cloud cover, it's calm, the bluegills are biting. We'll see what happens. We're just gonna put our head down and maybe we'll get 2 giant bites here. It's a rough day today. You're gonna have them. At least it happened on the final day and not the first day. Come up there, buddy. There we go. We should get rid of that one.
I've busted my butt out here on Eufaula all week. I've ran probably 100 brush piles a day. I've picked the trolling motor up and down, run half a mile, make 3 casts, pick the trolling motor up, run 3/4 of a mile, make 3 or 4 casts. I've been doing that all week in the 80 to 90 degree weather, and I'm flat wore out, but I can look back on this tournament and say I give it everything I absolutely had.
Oh, yeah.
I give it 100% of what I had in me to try to win this event. If I don't win, I'm happy with however it turns out because I know I did all I could. We've only got 2 events left after this one, and you've got guys that are down in the standings that want to make the Forest Wood Cup.
I thought he was bigger than that. There we go.
And they're going to put the hammer down to try to beat your butt and get in that championship. And I don't let up at all. I'm way up in the points. I want to win Angler of the Year again. You know, we've only got 2 events left. I'm right there. Somebody slips up, have a shot at Angler of the Year.
Yes. The whole depth finder's just blacked out with fish. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy. After the year I've started off with, this week's been amazing because, I mean, honestly, it's been a terrible year for me, and it's good to finally get a top 10, and, you know, hopefully we can carry it on through the rest of the year.
Clint is back at the southern end of the lake, where he lost his big fish this morning. He's hoping for a second chance at adding some weight to his limit.
Amazing what 2 6-pounders will do with 3 small ones in the live well. One was enough, that's a big one. My net's hung up. Shit. Yeah! Finally! Well, that was my second big bite of the day. I finally got one in the boat. That one helps the cause tremendously. Now how do I feel about losing a 5-pounder this morning? I'll tell you how I feel. Terrible. Let's get another. You know, I've caught more fish today than I've caught all week, and I finally caught a good one. If I lost a 5-pounder this morning, I would be right there needing probably one more bite. But it is what it is. We're gonna sit here and swing for a little while, see if we can get another one.
I ain't got much, but I'm proud of the ones I got.
For the man who has been on top or near the lead every day of this tournament, the final round has been frustrating. Troy Morrow loves brush piles. He loves throwing crankbaits over them. But the fish have only been biting one bait today, and they haven't been the bigger bass.
Okay, Troy, get a final game plan here. Pick up that stupid drop shot is the one thing that's got me scared. I should take it out of the boat so it's not even in there and it's not an option. But that's my safety, and I know I can catch 5 keepers on it and move 2 or 3 places higher and get more money. But to win it, I need to leave it down. I caught one. Oh, glory be. It's a start. That's my slight upgrade. Stupid drop shot. Yeah, we're only 1 bite away from having a shot at it. I mean, heck. They still got to catch them. 6-pounder go a long ways.
Come on, I need 2 more fish, baby. I'm just like a mess right now. I think it's small, but oh, maybe not. Oh, I think it's a spot. Oh, oh. Wow, my nerves are getting tested today.
That's the thing about bass fishing, make you pull all your hair out of your head. Now you see why I don't got no hair. A lot of little ones today, man. A lot of little ones. Day 4 didn't go as good as I thought it was gonna go. Well, you know, after yesterday, you know, I thought I really had something that was gonna work, but Man, they just didn't fire today. I mean, I caught a couple of decent ones off of it, but nothing like what I caught yesterday. Come on, biggin'. Gotta leave in 1 minute. That's him. That's him. That's him. Got rid of one this year. You gotta go.
Strader needs to make the cull happen quickly, as time is almost up on the water. Now, every angler will bring their bass to the weigh-in stage and let the scales have the final say on how their day went. Find out who walks away with $125,000 as the finale of the Walmart FLW Tour is next.
I'm done. Tough day on the water. Probably, in hindsight now, I wish I'd have stayed. I mean, I had a gut decision this morning, fished up here and caught 2 fish.
Dang.
I wish I'd have stayed above the bridge all day.
I'm flat wore out, but I can look back on this tournament and say I give it everything I absolutely had. If I don't win, I'm happy with however it turns out because I know I did all I could.
Honestly, it's been a terrible year for me, and it's good to finally get a top 10, and hopefully we can carry it on through the rest of the year.
How's it feel? How's it feel? Hungry.
Shin Fukai and the rest of the top 10 anglers are headed off the water. It's the final weigh-in for the Walmart FLW Tour event on Lake Eufaula. The leaderboard has been close all day, and the crowd is ready to see some fish.
Put some charge into this weigh-in, baby. Let's go. Woo! Oh, wow! A 5-bass limit.
Some big bass are brought to the stage, but for Clint Davis, there is one fish in particular that he wishes made the trip back in his Ranger live well.
Clint Davis, former Rookie of the Year on the Walmart FLW Tour. Let's get this thing started. A 5-bass limit. New leader.
Davis redeemed that miss at the end of the day, and he takes the lead. Now, he just has to hold off Brian Thrift, who was a blur on the water today, hitting over 100 spots on the lake.
A last-minute upgrade.
Brian Thrift, definitely former Angler of the Year, and a guy who comes into this event in 5th place in the points race. 15 pounds, 15 ounces on day 1, 18 pounds, 12 ounces on day 2, 19 pounds, 14 ounces yesterday. His weights increase every day. You come into today in 2nd place, 4 ounces off Troy Morrow's lead. A 5-bass limit for Brian Thrift. New leader. 15 pounds and 5 ounces, 69 pounds and 14 ounces of Lake Eufaula bass.
Troy Morrow's day was filled with misses and short fish. He started the final day with a slim lead over Thrift, and now he just needs to pull out close to 16 pounds of bass to win this tournament.
From East Denali, Georgia, former All-American champion, looking for his first tour win. So close, so many times. Do you have a 5-bass limit?
I do have 5.
A 5-bass limit. Oh, it's gonna be close. £12 and 2 ounces. Your champion is Brian Thrift. Wow! 69 pounds and 14 ounces.
It's been an awesome week. I love coming here. It fits my style of fishing. I like to run and gun, make 3 casts, go somewhere, make 3 casts. I'm absolutely wore out. I think I fished harder this week than I've ever fished in my life.
Your champion, Brian Thrift, $125,000 richer.
Brian Thrift's win on this lake is impressive and gives him his 4th tour-level victory to add to his resume. It also keeps him in the hunt for Angler of the Year. as the tour heads next to Lake Chickamauga, which happens to be Wesley Strader's home lake. Be sure to watch all the action on the next FLW.